When you hear the word pyramid, what do you think? You likely think about those built in Egypt thousands of years ago. The enormous size and precision have never been duplicated in modern times. It brings up many questions, but the biggest by far is how. While we do have some clues, engineers aren't completely sure how they were made. The finest example is the Great Pyramid of Khufu. It's a massive 756 feet wide and 481 feet high. It's a true triumph of engineering. But something that large, made by humans, has got to have some type of error, and it does. All four sides of the base, compared to each other, are off by 2.3 inches of being perfect, less than the size of your pinky. Try making something out of 5.5 million tons of limestone using a laser, and you still won't get that close. That is some scary accurate precision. Limestone blocks average 2.5 tons each and went all the way up to an astounding 80 tons. All of this was done without modern cranes and engineering methods. Just an army of people, outstanding planning, and elegantly simple but effective technology. But what if I told you that the ruins of a pyramid were found in a southern Indiana quarry? You'd probably say I was crazy. But what if I could prove it? While the pyramids were a marvel in their own time, most of our fascination in Egyptology comes from 1920s archaeology. In 1922, Howard Carter found and excavated the tomb of King Tutankhamun, the Boy King. What he found was the stuff of legends. The riches therein were mind-boggling. From a dagger made from a meteorite to a face mask made of solid gold. These artifacts were toured across the world, inspiring imaginations and fascination about ancient Egypt. Some of that fascination ended up at Lawrence County, Indiana. Known as the limestone capital of the world, it sits on a huge layer of ancient limestone, just like the kind used to build ancient Egyptian pyramids. This high-grade limestone has been used to build most of the iconic buildings in Washington, D.C. There's even a huge pit in the ground where all the stone was quarried for the Empire State Building. If there was one place in the world where people knew stone cutting, it was here. In 1980, someone devised a plan to increase tourism and visibility of the limestone industry, which was starting to wane. They would take a large section of land near Highway 37 and build a pyramid. It would be 95 feet tall, and around it would be many other Egyptian-themed structures. It would be a very exotic destination. Not only would there be a limestone pyramid, there would also be a replica of the Great Wall of China, 650 feet long. This would truly be a one-of-a-kind tourist attraction. It would put Lawrence County on the map. As you might imagine, this would take a great deal of money, more than what Lawrence County could provide. the idea was pitched to the federal government, and amazingly, they funded it. Work was started, and tons of limestone were quarried and placed on the site. Not only was this a great investment in the local economy, it would literally last thousands of years with very little upkeep. But during a session of Congress, this project was labeled as wasteful spending. Funding was cut. If you come to Lawrence County today, the limestone industry is still there, but it's not nearly as big as it used to be when it hired hundreds to work in the many quarries. A water-powered turbine, built to supply power to the limestone mills, was dismantled as it was no longer needed. Today, it's just a peaceful place to fish. We'll never know what kind of tourist dollars that the Pyramid theme park could have generated. For sure, people from around the world would have came and spent money. But what we do know, the ruins are still there. From satellite images, you can see the base of the pyramid. It was pretty huge and was intended to impress from all angles. This was an artist's conception that was pitched to the government. It had a large ramp to the entryway, built for grandeur. We can only imagine what it would have been like to experience a piece of Egypt in rural Indiana. Walking through an exotic landscape, and through chambers leading to mesmerizing, unknown passages. Many other structures can be seen here, in various stages of development. There were big plans and big dreams to revive a once proud limestone industry. What's left are large stones, all left to the elements, and ruin, remnants of what could have been. On this large piece of land, next to the highway, were so many possibilities that never happened. With the right investment and imagination, this place could have been the Disney World of the North. But instead of a castle at the center, a large Egyptian pyramid.